They didn't just crush his truck, they flattened it beneath a roaring bulldozer, steel ripping through metal like paper. Then, the second they spotted the military plates, they froze, realizing way too late they'd picked a fight with the wrong black veteran. That man was Galen Price, tall, broad-shouldered, and calm in the way only a soldier can be. He sat on his porch that morning, sipping black coffee from a chipped mug as the dawn peeled over his quiet cul-de-sac. 22 years in the Army, 10 deployments, 2 Purple Hearts, and a spinal fracture that ached whenever it rained. Galen had earned peace, a tidy home, a small garden, his battered Dodge Ram out front. That was it. That was his calm. Then came the notices. At first, he thought it was a joke. A single paper tucked under his wiper stamped non-compliant vehicle subject to enforcement. No city seal, no logo, just a number and a name, Neighborhood Compliance Task Force. He tossed it. But the next morning, 3 more appeared. Then one nailed, yes, nailed to the tree in his yard. Remove unauthorized vehicle within 48 hours or risk asset seizure. His own truck, unauthorized? He checked the city's site, no such department. His tags were valid. His plates, military. But when he called that number, a voice answered sharply, "This is the HOA Enforcement Division." "What HOA?" he asked. Silence. Click. Something was off. But he had no clue how far this would go. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you're watching from, and make sure to subscribe to Silence Divide Tales because tomorrow's story is one you do not want to miss. 2 days later, Galen's doorbell rang. A man stood there, fluorescent vest, mirrored shades, clipboard like a badge of fake authority. "You've been served," he said coldly. "For what?" Galen asked. "Vehicle abandonment, code noncompliance, and obstruction of visual line of sight." "Obstruction of what?" Galen frowned. "You're quoting gibberish. There's no HOA here." The man smirked. "You have until Friday," then walked away like he'd just passed judgment. Friday came bright and peaceful until the low growl of diesel shattered the quiet. Galen stepped outside. Down the street, a yellow bulldozer crawled closer. No logo, no markings, just a blank steel monster. "Hey, that's my truck!" Galen shouted, running forward. The clipboard man pointed 2 fingers toward the bulldozer driver. "It's an unauthorized structure. Step back." Unauthorized structure? His truck? Then it happened. A gut punch of metal against metal as the bulldozer's blade slammed into the side of the Dodge Ram. Tires burst. Glass shattered. The truck lifted off the ground and twisted sideways. Neighbors screamed. Someone filmed. Galen filmed. Galen charged forward, but then the driver froze. He saw the military plate, the Purple Heart decal, the disabled veteran placard. Everything stopped. The driver cut the engine and stumbled out, trembling. The man in the vest went pale and backed away. Galen didn't say a word. He just walked back inside, silent. Minutes later, he stood beside the wreckage, gasoline thick in the air, glass crunching underfoot. He dialed 911. "They bulldozed your vehicle?" The dispatcher repeated, stunned. "Oh, I heard them just fine," Galen said. "You want the VIN? I've got it." 20 minutes later, 2 rookie officers arrived, one still wearing braces. They took photos, asked questions. "Do you have any video evidence?" "6 neighbors filmed it," Galen said flatly. "That's good," one replied. "But this was done by your HOA?" "No," Galen said. "A fake HOA." He handed them the violation slips. One officer frowned. "Sir, these aren't even legal codes." "You think I don't know that?" Galen growled. "I worked base security for 5 years." The next day, the police called back. The so-called Neighborhood Compliance Task Force claimed he was at fault, that his truck was abandoned and demolition was authorized under Clause 14B of local private ordinance protocols. Clause 14B didn't exist, but his insurance company didn't care. They called it a civil dispute. Can you believe that? They bulldozed his truck and he was the one stuck with the bill. That's when Galen realized this wasn't random, it was organized. That night, headlights flared across his driveway. A silver Prius rolled up. Out stepped the same man in the yellow vest, clipboard in hand, mouth already running. "You're in breach of..." He froze mid-sentence. Inside the garage, he saw Galen's military uniform, the medals, the folded flag, and the crushed Dodge Ram. Then he saw Galen, standing still, arms crossed, calm as steel. "I think there's been a misunderstanding," the man stuttered. "You came to the wrong house," Galen said quietly. The man's voice cracked. "We didn't know about your affiliation. Maybe we can reimburse you." "I don't want your money," Galen said. "I want your paper trail." The guy hesitated. We don't exactly file with the city. Galen stepped forward, just one step. The man tripped, fell over the curb, and sprinted to his Prius. Tires screeched down the street, but it wasn't over. The next morning, Galen's neighbor Carolyn showed up, pale, shaking, clutching a letter. They fined me $300 for unapproved garden gnomes, she whispered. That was it. Galen grabbed a clipboard and started knocking on doors. By the end of 2 days, 27 houses, same fake letters, same lies. Families scared, some even paying. It wasn't compliance, it was extortion. So Galen took it higher. He compiled everything letters, videos, interviews, then drove straight to Channel 8 News. No shouting, just a USB drive labeled fake HOA. 3 days later, the story aired. Footage of the bulldozed truck, neighbors crying, Carolyn's shattered window, and Galen standing proudly beside the wreckage. The report exploded online. Veterans groups shared it, donations poured in, and finally, justice moved. The DA called. We saw the report. We'd like to meet. Investigators threw around words like racketeering and mail fraud. Weeks later, arrests were made. The bulldozer driver turned himself in. The ringleader tried to flee, caught in Colorado. Galen got his compensation, a check covering every penny. But he didn't cash it. He folded it beside his medals, his flag, his beret, because for Galen Price, this wasn't about money. It was about principle. Sometimes the real battles begin after the war, when the enemies wear polo shirts and carry clipboards. If you believe peace is worth defending, hit that like button and subscribe to Silence Divide Tales for stories where quiet streets turn into battlegrounds for truth.